The Astro 1 and 2 payload was a series of telescopes mounted in the payload bay of the Space Shuttle, which were used to analyze the stars, and I'm going to show you that payload in restoration for permanent display in a museum. Hi, I'm John Williams, and I am standing in front of the Spacelab Astro 1 and 2 payload that was brought up on STS-35 and STS-67. This payload was a telescope payload, and this little piece of history right here actually had 3 different little telescopes that would lock onto a star. And since this aluminum structure over here was connected to the payload bay, this aluminum structure, it would have been able to move around. And since this was a Spacelab mission, they basically had a small module inside the Space Shuttle's cargo bay, and they used this piece of history right here, this payload, to lock onto some stars. And when they locked on, the Spacelab people could keep their eyes on one star while the shuttle was orbiting, so that the shuttle didn't rotate and they lost track of the star they were studying. Now, there are multiple telescopes, and it's not just this one. They are all split up and they're in different museums or they're scrapped. Guess where I am now? I'm at the Udvar Hazy Air and Space Museum in Dulles, Virginia, and look what I found. I found the Spacelab instrument pointing system, which was the attachment that attached the Astro 1 payload to the Space Shuttle's cargo bay. And what's really cool about this piece is that it literally would keep this payload focused on one part of the sky for the whole mission while the shuttle was rotating. And hopefully sometime soon, it will be reunited as a full exhibit in Huntsville with the original Astro 1 payload. It's so cool. Anyway, back to Huntsville. I was talking to a scientist over here who was working on this payload back in the 1980s, and he told me that this piece of this aluminum structure was actually sent to a junkyard after NASA was done with it. After a long period, after someone found it, bought it, and then was about to scrap it and sell it for aluminum, the scientist found it. He bought it back for $1,500, which is way under what it should be worth, and is here restoring it. And he told me that he will get all the telescopes that still exist. They will all come back here, and they will all be put back on this payload to honor all the men and women of the Space Shuttle program. It's an amazing piece. Please subscribe, share our videos, and excitement about space with everyone.